Dajaha. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, in this series of videos, I've been telling you about a list of exams I've done since graduating medical school. I went to Anhui Medical University in China. I graduated 2021. So far, I've told you about CAMC Part 1, CAMC Part 2. Now, let's move on to the more, what I say, interesting part. So starting now, I'll be talking about USMLE Step 1. And in my next upcoming video, I'll be talking about USMLE Step 2. All right. And I've been getting my hair done. So I started removing my braids. Then I went to wash my hair and blow dry it. Now I finished my plaits and I'm moving into the segment where I do my crochet. All right. So my package came from Amazon and I'll basically be doing faux locks, if that's what it's called. Yeah, faux locks, I'm sure. So it says, couldn't wait to meet me. Guess what? I also couldn't wait to meet it. So I'm gonna just remove this from the package. It says full to open. Okay, that works. I don't need a scissor. Why does it? Oh, I may have opened the wrong book. Okay. So this here I bought a few days ago. I saw it online and I was just like, oh, let's try this. Yeah, well, we will see how this turns out. It comes with, oh, wow, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all? Anyways, there are 6 packs here. I'm not sure how many strands per pack, but I'm hoping based on the parts I did, it can actually work out. All right, so let's get going. So USMLE Step 1, how long did it take for me to prepare? A very, very long time. Oh, this is making noise, right? Let me take it out of the back first. So, in the meantime, between time, this is the color. So it's supposed to be, I look it up, 1B2737 something mixed. So it's black and brown and transition to a lighter brown. But it's supposed to look like locks. And that's what, this is my first time trying doing it myself and also wearing it. So yeah, I'm in for a very good treat. So I'm gonna open 3 packs first. I'm gonna just drop these here. Ooh, so it came with its own crochet needle. However, I had an old one. I'm not really sure. I'll just use my old one. All right. So let's do a quick rundown. So USMLE Step 1, I took almost a year to do the exam. Why? First, I was working as an intern, then senior house officer. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of preparation. It was nothing in comparison to my CAMC exams. My CAMC exams are more on the clinical side. This was basic science. So I had to study everything from scratch, right? This was like things you did first and second year leading up to your midterm third year. That's for where I studied in China. So it took a lot out of me to study for this exam. There were days I felt like maybe I'm not cut out to do this exam. Maybe I should just, keep where I'm at. I finished CAMC. I'm working in Jamaica. I'm licensed. Maybe I should just stick with that. But I didn't give up, and I'm very happy about that because I did pass. When it comes on to materials I used first aid. I used the first aid. UWorld is gold standard. Like UWorld. Do those questions. I mean, if you don't want to do UWorld, because I met some persons who their school provided amboss, that's fine. I think honestly, fairly, the questions on Amboss are very similar in relation to the topics that are tested on UWorld. So Amboss is also pretty good. In terms of videos, I watched Dirty Medicine on YouTube. He was really good. When it came on to biochemistry, he did that. Microbiology, he helped with that. Statistics, yes. So, Dirty Medicine all the way for me. I used it more after learning, so I could use it for like summary. He makes awesome mnemonics that definitely helps me out. And when it comes to, I initially did some flashcards, but then over time I stopped. I know a lot of persons use Anki deck. I never really used it. Maybe because I never fully understood how to use it, but mostly because I was like, it's not for me. So I'm more of a hard copy kind of person. So most persons kind of study with iPods and their laptop and all of that. I'm more pen and paper and my regular flashcards. So it never really worked out for me when it came onto the Anki decks and all of that. So I used UWorld, First Aid, Dirty Medicine videos from YouTube. Randy Neal also is really good for biostatistics. And if you want to use Sketchy or one of those for microbiology, it helps. But what really helps is repetition. So doing the questions over and over again, getting tested on these microbial agents really helped me a lot. So repetition, repetition, repetition. I did have a study schedule, so I did have a long extended period of studying. Then I had an 8 weeks dedicated period. So in this, I did a good amount of revision. Then I had a study plan with how many questions I would do per day and basically what I should achieve in that day. And when I said dedicated, all I did was study. I studied 14 to 16 hours a day. Yeah, that was a time. So I studied 14 to 16 hours a day. On average, when I started my first week, I was doing 2 blocks. Then my fifth week, I went up to 3 blocks. And then my seventh and eighth week, that's leading up to my exam, I went up to 4 blocks. Bear in mind, each of these blocks that I did, I had to review them the same day, right? So I was doing these blocks, reviewing them. I also did something called clues, like a clue book. So that's basically a list of things that you need to memorize. It's similar to Anki, it's just that I use a hard copy version. So that too really helped me. So UWorld, First Aid, Randy Neal YouTube videos. YouTube is your best friend. Randy Neal and Dirty Medicine. I know persons use Boards and Beyond and a lot of other things. What I would say in studying for these exams, pick your resources wisely and don't do too much. The more resources you have, the more time consuming it gets and the more you keep going over and over and over again. So pick for step one, pick 4 to 5 resources. If not, pick 3. UWorld, First Aid, and a video source. So whatever video source you want to use, whether it's Board and Beyond, whether it's YouTube videos. I mean, YouTube videos supplement everything, and stick to it. Like, stick to the plan, man. Stick to the plan, because if you stick to it, you will, well, hopefully, you will see results, because I saw results and I was very, trust me, studying for that exam, I got frustrated a lot, but when I saw those results, I was just like, yep, I did that. Like, that feeling of knowing you passed is really good. So step one, the exam itself. So the exam is 280 questions. I need to double check that. I'll just put the, yeah, but I know the exam was 8 hours, so it was 7 blocks of 40, right? Yeah, 4 sevens, yeah. So it was 7 blocks of 40. You get a 45 minutes break that you can schedule for yourself. You get an additional 15 minutes only if you skip the tutorial, which I would advise you to do. So if you skip the tutorial for the exam, then that 15 minutes is added to your 45 minutes, and then you end up with an hour to do your lunch or breaks or however you want to schedule it. You can only take those after you finish a block, which is a block of 40 questions. Anytime you wish, you can take a break. Personally, I took a break when I was tired. So I think after my second or third block, I was just like, yeah, take a break. So I took like 10 minutes and then I did another 2 blocks. I felt tired again, started getting fatigued because, I've been sitting in this exam for so long. Took another 10 minutes, went outside to walk up and down, jump up and down, just to try to get my energy going. Because at this point, I was just going downhill, like my energy, my brain space, everything. So you have to be able to do everything that's good, like in terms of each block you have to give it your best because every block counts. What I told myself is that when I finish the block, it's done, it's gone, I cannot do anything else about it. So I move on to my second block with a fresh start, a fresh mind, be like, okay, this is a new block, let's get as much as possible out of this block. And each block consecutive until my last block, I did the same thing, right? So make sure you get your resources, stick to your resources, make a study plan, stick to the plan, and be prepared to do your exam. Now, before you go to that exam, make sure you do at least an NBME. Reason I'm saying that, there is some form of correlation, I don't know how or why, but there's some form of correlation with you not passing your NBMEs and getting good on your NBMEs, right? Some people say the minimum you need to get is 60. I don't have any statistics to prove that. But if you are getting 60, 65, 70s on your NBME, step one is now pass or fail. In my opinion, if you are getting those NBMEs, like you're literally doing your best, like doing it in exam conditions, and you get those NBMEs, then I think you're ready to go. But, that's also based on how you feel. Leading to, you have to be mentally, physically, and right. So you have to be mentally, physically, and emotionally prepared for this exam. Because this exam is not just about knowledge. It's about how prepared you are, your endurance, everything. So make sure before you go to that exam, you can tell yourself, I'm going to this exam to give it the best shot I can. Because if you're not mentally prepared to say, oh, I'm not ready for the exam, but let's try to see. No, I wouldn't advise that. So make sure you prepare yourself. Make sure you study all you can. Make sure you're seeing results from your NBMEs, which are basically your practice tests, or your URL assessments, whichever you choose. Make sure you are in the headspace to go actually take this exam. You can always reschedule if you don't feel ready, but I would advise until you're sure, don't go to do the exam. All right. Thank you for joining today. I hope I summarized my experience as best as possible. Again, if you have any questions, because I cannot address every single thing in this video, there may be things that you want to know that that I didn't address. So you can go ahead and type them in the comments. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting there also small snippets or ideas or information regarding these exams, and I'll answer them there also. Thank you for joining me, and Sai Jen.